Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors, and this is Simply Drawing with Everett, 7:30 p.m. Here I am, live. I'm broadcasting live from my studio to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and later on to Instagram. And I'm in the studio tonight with my wife, Gloria.
Hi, everybody.
She'll be monitoring the broadcast, also the chat room. Chat room's live, so if you have any questions during the broadcast, put them down on the chat room, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And later on with the broadcast, on the live, you can also make comments in the video in the section below. Okay, well today I'm going to do a drawing. We're using the right side of the brain. I'm going to do an upside down drawing, and we'll talk about that. So let's go over to my drawing table, and let's get started. Okay, remember last week we did an exercise using the right side of the brain. We did a profile, remember? Young that picture there, and then we did what they call a perceptual illusion, which was you did the profile on this side, and then the right side of the brain we did it over here using the right side of the brain, and it became a vase. So we have the vase, and if you look at it closely, it becomes a face. So that was a one-step exercise last week.
If they missed it, we could put a link in there for them.
Yes. That was episode number. It's on Everett's Watercolors YouTube. It's episode number 81. Tonight is episode number 82, and I'm going to use another exercise out of Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. This is a great book. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but the exercise we're going to do tonight came out of this book. Now, the exercise is to do a drawing upside down, and this is a drawing of something we're all familiar with. We've all had bicycles at one time or another, and so a bicycle is a pretty common item, but I'm going to turn upside down and do a drawing upside down. Now, the reason we do that is when things are upside down, things are a little more difficult to interpret, and what that does, that blocks out the interference from the left side of the brain, telling you what is there and name everything for you. What you have to do on the right side of the brain is look at the shapes and the sizes and then draw it out. So what I'm going to do here on this drawing sheet of paper, I'm going to just let me make a few marks here on some I'm going to start over on the left on this side over here. Let me get a couple of reference points. I'm going to make a mark here for that wheel. Then over here, there's this is the hub of the pedals, and then there's another wheel over here. Give myself some reference points there, okay? It's about the size and the wheels and so forth. So what I'm going to do basically is I just make a few marks, and then I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to start drawing. So this is a ink pen with the black ink, and it's permanent too, so I can use it with watercolors. So I'm going to start over here with the on this hub over here. That mark I made with a pencil, I'm going to just go ahead and indicate that. That's the pencil mark, and I'm going to go ahead and draw. I'm going to draw in the wheel. Now this is a circle. Now that's the radius, and I'm going to come up here, make another mark, and that's about the radius. I'm going to make a circular mark. And so I'm looking at the diagram now. Now there's also a structure here coming from the center, which is the front, actually I don't know what it is. It's just this structure here coming up. This is a shape there. And I'll put the other side of it. Okay. Now I'm going to continue with the wheel now. I've got the inside of the wheel. Now there's the radius. So I'm comparing sizes and shapes. Okay. I don't know what it is. I know I'm doing a bicycle, but I don't know I'm not making any perception on what it is. And now the radius, get the bottom side over here and draw that in. Estimate that arc. And this arc over here. So here I'm estimating that shape by the distance and so forth. Now I get the outside of the wheel. I get the thickness. Put that in there. I'll go ahead and put that in. So that'll be a parallel line with this section here. We'll get that in. And we'll go on the other side. And get the distance from there. Draw that arc in. Now it's not important how well the drawing looks. This is not an idea of how perfect the drawing is. This is to get an idea of using the right side of the brain. I'm not trying to figure out what it is, or I'm not naming anything. I'm just drawing what I see. And there's also a shape here. It looks like this front wheel has a connection here with something. So I'll put a little mark there on that one. Okay, now I'll finish this line here now. I got this line here coming up. Now the distance there from the wheel is about like that. I can continue on with that. It's about that length right there. And now this line down here. Now I've got the front bar here down. Now I made a dot for myself. Remember that little dot I made of the hub? So I'm going to shoot for that direction. There's the distance there. So I'll get that line in. And I can go ahead and estimate the thickness of that. Okay. Now I've got a circle here. This is the wheel, the gear of the pedals. So I estimate that one in. And here's a pedal. There's a pedal. No, I don't know what it is. I don't want to name it. I don't care. It's just a shape. That's a shape there. There's a shape down there. Okay. Now there's also this. Now there's this shape here coming at the. I'll get the angle. About like that. And I'll draw that line in. And it goes. It's just about the same height as this one. Maybe a little, maybe it's slightly taller. And it's got the width. Estimate the width. So how am I doing? I'm upside down, and I'm just following the shapes. And you're looking at what I'm doing. At the top here, there's this figure here. This shape here. Let's see. Let's get this one in. It's got a little curve to it. And it's got a little curve here. Get that in. Okay, we'll come down here. Now there's a horizontal shape here. Let me get that in from side to side. And then there's this shape here. I can put that in. It's over here. And then there's another shape down here at the bottom of that. There's this odd shape here, so let's just try to put that in. It starts down here, and goes around, and comes up, meets over here. Okay. Now before we go to this side, let's just finish this section off over here. I've got this shape up here to get in. I've got a shape here. I've got this shape here, and there's a curve here. There's a curved line, goes around. It also curves the other. There's another curve over here. Get that in. There's another shape here at the top. Don't know what it is, but there's a shape. There's a shape there. Put that in. Okay. And now coming across here. Now coming to this side, at the bottom of this, there's another. Now this is parallel with that, so I can get that line in. And I made a dot there for the back part of the wheel there, so I can break that down to that dot I made. And that's a thinner line than that, so it's pretty thin. The size of that. And that's there's also a circular shape here. I'll get that in. Don't know what it is, but it's a shape. And there's another shape here at the bottom of this. It's got a little curve to it. It goes down and curves back up. And there's a, from this section here, there's this line right here, right in the center. Put that in. There's that shape, and there's another shape on right next to it. Okay, now we got one more shape to get, and that's the this big shape here. So we start here, we'll start here. The shape from here to here, just inside that little, and let's see, I can estimate this shape here about the same as this one here, come across. So I can start the outside perimeter. Okay, so I'll go around here. Put that arc in. It's an arc. So I know it's a round shape. And we get the back. Let's see that size there over to here. Get this arc in. Okay, how are we doing? I don't know what it looks like yet. Now down here, it's from here to here is another arc. Put that in. So when you draw a circle, it's easier if you do arc. Like I went from here to there with the same radius from here to the outside. From the center to the outside is the radius. So if I get the radius all right, I'll be fine. Now I can get the inside shape. There's that, and I know it comes up here, inside shape, so I can get that arc in, parallel to the outside of whatever it is. And down here I get the other arc over here. And there's one more arc over here I got to get. This side here, and make it parallel to the, so it looks like a curve. And then this one down here. There, okay. Now there's a line here that goes around this way. So I'm going to connect. I'm put that in. This is a line. There's a line here. Okay. Now there are two shapes here I want to put in. The shapes here next to these bars, or these, where they are. There's this shape here. I can put that in. And on this side over here is another shape over here. And it looks like connected somehow there, and these are connected sometime here. Okay. All right, now before I leave the, let's see if I've got enough on there. I've got this, everything, all the shapes connected. I got this shape here, this one here. I got this shape here, here. I got this shape here, around here. All right, now what I'm going to do now, that ink pen. Now this is called a brush pen, and a brush is made by Pentel. And what it gives you a nice black mark. So I'm going to use that to add in some a little bit of color to this. I'm going to add these shapes here because it's dark. It's a dark object there, so I'm going to go ahead and print that in. So now with this black and white now, things will start shaping up a little bit. I got the shape of the item. So now that I got my drawing in, now I can go ahead and shade it in. And I'm using this brush pen. And brush pens they're filled with ink, and they're good for drawing. I love to draw with these, so I use this for, like I'm showing you right here, to fill in darks and so forth. I'm going to turn this just slightly. Now, when you do this exercise upside down, you want to pick a subject like here. I did this subject. Pick a subject that you're not just be firm, but something simple shape that you can make. You know what it is, and then you turn upside down. What you're trying to do. The more complex the subject is, the more the upside down drawing really helps. And I'll show you one here in a few moments about what I'm talking about. Now this can be, just because we don't recognize upside down what this is, this can also be complex. This is also dark. I'll darken this in, this shape here, whatever it is. And I'll leave some of the items white. This was also dark up here. This shape was dark. And now I can go ahead and put these were also darkened in, so I'll darken that in. This was dark. And darkening this item here, this shape here is dark in. And this back one here, whatever it is. You'll notice now, as I'm drawing this, I'm not naming what they are. I'm just drawing the shape that I see, and I'm filling in the colors or the shading I see. I see dark shading, so I'm going to shade this in dark. And this last shape I'll put in, then we'll go from there. So this little brush pen is nice to have for as a shading in very quickly. It covers. You can see here, it's like a brush. In fact, you can see the long. You can see the long ink deposit here comes off of a brush side. It's like a brush shape. Let me turn this a little bit so I can get I'm right-handed, so it's easier for me to move this around this way. Let me finish the shape. Go ahead and shade it in. Okay, now before we turn it around and see how we did, let's fill in some more, a little more detail. We're almost finished here. Okay, so let me check things out here. I've got this section here has got some holes in it, so I'm going to indicate some holes. And this section here has got it's got a shape in it also. So we'll give this a little shape. I'll fill this in with the using the ink pen now. Just using the ink pen. Okay, and this shape here in the back is also got some holes in it, or looks like holes, or some sort of. I'm just trying to identify, not try to identify what it is, just kind of indicate that there's some texture back there, which looks like holes. Some part of the mechanism. Okay. And then this has maybe a little line here and a little line on here to lay that. Okay. And I know this thing is, I know this object, I know what the subject here is sitting on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of shading here on the ground. Just, I know it's sitting here on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and put some groundwork in here. Just give it something to sit on, so it doesn't look like it's in the air. And then with my brush pen, I'll just put a little bit of shading, a little bit of shadow under it, just showing that it's sitting on the ground or wherever it is. It's upside down, so it must be sitting on the ground. Put a little shading under that. Okay. Okay, so I'm ready to turn it around. Let's see how it works. There's the upside down view. Now let's turn it the other way around. Well, look at that. Looks like a bicycle. And look at the picture. There's the bicycle photograph. And there's the drawing. And I did that upside down. And then when you get it this way, then you can go in and do, you don't want to make any changes to that. You just want to go ahead and leave it. That's the exercise. So the exercise is to do it upside down and just get the shapes. Follow the shapes. That's what you're training your right side of the brain just to pick up the shapes and the sizes. Now what else I can do here, what I want to do, is I also saw some other shapes here. So I'll turn it back over, and there's some other marks here I want to put in. Just indicate that these are, you don't see them all, but you see a few. I saw these as I turned the picture over, and there's some back here. And that will kind of complete that. Instead of having a big white space there, I know that there's some other pieces, which are the parts of the drawing. Hey, now we'll bring that around. Okay. So there's the completed upside down drawing of the object that I was using. Okay, so the object there is to take something and turn upside down. I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to show you an example I did years ago. Now the exercises, I would recommend anyone that really wants to learn more about drawing and getting better. This book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards, it's been in print for a long time, but you can probably still find it online just by typing the name in, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, and Betty Edwards was the author. And then see if you can get a copy, because it's really worthwhile. Let me show you. This exercise we did tonight was very simple compared to what's in the book. The exercise in the book was this. I had to draw this figure upside down. And this is where the upside down drawing really helps. So this drawing here, drawing it upside down. Now let me show you what I did. I'll just share this with you. I did that drawing, and I didn't realize that how long ago, but I did that drawing. There's my drawing of that book drawing right there. And I dated it. I did it in March of 1997. That's 24 years ago. I didn't realize that. 24 years ago I did this drawing, okay? And I know from this book. So I've had this book for a long time, you can see that. But what I'm trying to show you here is, here's an example of drawing something that's very complicated. But I turned the picture upside down. I was able to draw it. That was 24 years ago. And I'm sure I could do the same thing today. So this is a sort of thing where putting something upside down, you can really do a better job than you ever thought you could. I promise you. You got to try it. So my recommendation again is there's many more exercises here, but those are the ones last week of the vase, using the vase and faces. The vase is called the vase face perceptive illusion, perspective illusion. That's what it's called. You're doing the vase, but you're also doing the vase. That's a good one. And this one here, drawing upside down of any object. You can pick an object of a photograph, turn upside down, and draw it what you see. Just like I did here tonight with this bicycle. You take the drawing or the picture, turn upside down, and then you draw the shapes that you see, the sizes, get the location of things that are basically locations, and then you draw in the actual angles and shapes and sizes. And I shaded it in so I could also show a little bit about what I was, to make it a little more believable, this drawing that you do. So that's the drawing from the photograph. I did one a couple of days ago. Here's one I did a couple of days ago, just by just sitting there with a pencil and so forth. I did this one upside down also. That was a draft. Okay. So the more times you do it, and that one I did that one quicker. I probably did it, probably in 5 minutes. This one here took me about 15 minutes. Let's go back to my main camera. Okay. Well, the tip tonight is, number one, you ought to get that book if you haven't seen it, or at least check it out. I don't think they have it in a library anymore. It's probably out of print and so forth. But there are copies of it. I'm sure you can find online somewhere. I would recommend you get that book and then go through the exercises. It's got lots of information in there that'd be very, very helpful. It'd make you understand a lot more and a lot better each time you do it. And I tried to show you a couple examples there last week and this week of the two main exercises that I've done in the past, and they've helped me a long time ago to get where I can draw very confidently about what I see. So using the right side of the brain is for real. That's the magic part of drawing, is to eliminate the subject matter of what it is and just draw what you see. It's just as plain as day. Okay, so I'm going to give me a like if you like this particular program, and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. It helps with my rating. I'll be back again next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. with another drawing exercise. And I haven't figured out yet what I'm going to do. Probably, I know what I'm going to do. I already figured it out. Next week I'll be doing another drawing that will have exercises on. Not necessarily, I'll be using the right side of the brain, but it'll be something that's not out of the book. It'll be something I want to do myself. So until then, I'll also be back on Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Everett's Watercolors. And then on Sunday, I put out anyone can draw with one line only on Sunday. Now, if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll be notified of all my videos and everything that's on my website, on my YouTube page, and so forth. I got over 800 videos on YouTube. So you go on to youtube.com and then type in Everett's Watercolors, and you'll find me. I got over 800 videos for you to look at. So until then, you all stay safe, and I'll see you on the next live video.